Maurice Nicol, Psychological Commentaries, Volume 1, based on work with Gurdjieff. Birdlip, February 14, 1942, The Law of Seven, an introduction. You all find you have little force for thinking about the cosmological ideas of this work. A person lives in his or her own very small cosmos, which is his or her world, and this very small world is governed mainly by self-interest. People do not live even in this world, this small planet called the Earth. This is due to a lack of development of consciousness, as there are so many of the troubles on this Earth. Consciousness in the majority of people is confined to the very small world of themselves and their own interest. We have scarcely any proper consciousness of one another. We can only take in what we are interested in, and if a person is only interested in himself and those belonging to his own self-interest, everything said about the cosmos has little or no meaning, for it demands a form of thinking beyond oneself. A person is glued to his life, thus he has, as a rule, very little free force in him to think beyond his immediate life interest. In that case, only the most external sides of his centers are working, and they absorb his energies. This is the sensual man of the New Testament, the man alive only in those parts of him turned towards the outer senses, towards life. But in everyone who has magnetic center, there remains something behind, something inner that wishes to understand more. For actually, a man has far more inner senses than outer senses, but these inner senses require to be developed, and thus begins with self-observation, which is one of the inner senses that is not ordinarily used. The real or essential part of man to which this work is addressed lies beyond the external controlled side. It is only reached by the inner senses. When a person begins to value this work, it is a sign that behind the false personality of the man, which the life of the senses has created in him, that there is some real thing unspoiled by life, and that is essence. Thoughts from personality may seem far cleverer than thoughts from essence, which are thoughts from the most simple and genuine side of us. But the quality of thought from essence is a far higher order than that from personality. Therefore, in trying to think of the created and ordered universe, this is the simplest thoughts that can begin to make contact with its meaning. Take a very simple thought. Has it occurred to you in any real vivid private way that you're staying on the earth for a short time? Again, have you quite simply thought that the earth is part of the solar system, a part of the sun? It is such simple, vivid, strange thoughts that begin to connect us with the ray of creation. The cosmological ideas of this work must first of all fall on the most external parts of the intellectual center and be registered by them. That is, you must learn the diagrams through paying attention. It must be done by everyone. It is a task the work sets. But the diagrams can be understood only when they reach higher or emotional parts of the intellectual center to begin with, and then pass to the emotional center itself. When a man takes in something that his formatory side has registered and wonders about it because he wants emotionally to do so, then the diagrams begin to work in him and make him think for himself about the cosmological side. This is the first object of the work, to connect a man with the higher parts of the ordinary centers and finally with the higher centers themselves. And this gradual process is called awakening. If a man denies all the meaning of the universe, his higher parts of centers are blocked by his attitude. The universe is then what he thinks it is, that is, exactly as his attitude to it. And then the man himself is what he thinks. But this work is to make a man think in a new way, for unless a man begins to think in a new way, he cannot change. This is obvious enough if you look at people, but to think in a new way, a man must have new ideas, new conceptions, and take them in and think from them.